Hello and welcome back into the Ace in the Hole podcast. Once again today, bringing it back with a special sports edition, our bi-weekly installment. It's me, it's the CAG, and I'm still champ. I'm still leading this show, the B show,
Bro's
but
just
it's the A
straight
show to
stealing
me.
that from me. Bro's just straight stole that from me.
It doesn't matter. You know, want to know why I didn't steal it? Because I did it better.
Okay.
Here on the ACE Sports Podcast. So I'm going to take a second. Thank everybody for listening. Thank y'all for being happy that I am the champion here, in my realm here. It's small, but, it's mine. So, Eli, how you feeling tonight? How you doing?
Oh, I'm up first. I actually get addressed, and I'm liking this change of direction. Okay, wasn't prepared for that. I'm doing pretty good, actually. I got a new mic setup going on right now.
Good.
I'm liking this.
Oh, hopefully you don't knock it off.
Oh yeah, no.
Like your camera last week.
Yeah. I'll try.
So, Austen, how you feeling tonight? You hanging in there?
I'm chilling.
All right.
Be the big chill.
Don't worry, the few words will soon dissipate as we get into our stacked regiment tonight of what we're going to talk about. Let's start with actually what the meat and potatoes of our last episode was. The results of the MLB trade deadline and the current standings and outlooks for teams in the MLB. So let's start with one of the most surprising things. The Angels kept Shohei, and there weren't very many buyers this year. And those who did buy didn't buy very heavy.
Yeah, so speaking up as the MLB analyst correspondent here, the reason that the Angels actually kept Shohei was because apparently the offers they were getting weren't what they were wanting. They probably weren't getting an entire team for Shohei Ohtani, which the Angels did not like, so they said, Shohei will stay. Which baffles me because looking at the standings, the Angels are still 11.5 games behind. But apparently Shohei is content with the Angels. So this is just an ever-growing story that'll keep growing until the pen hits the paper or does not hit the paper on his Angels contract this upcoming offseason. Or will he go somewhere else and explore other options? Or will he get a future endeavored by the Angels? No. Actually, I don't think he's going to Texas because perfect segue into the trade deadline because the Rangers got Max Scherzer in one of the blockbuster trades at the trade deadline, so they don't need really anything. This was a great pickup for the Rangers. I'm trying to get to it here. That way I can give you the specifics on the trade. I know that here it is. The Rangers got Max Scherzer and $35 million, and they gave the New York Mets Luisangel Acuna, which is Ronald Acuna's brother, I do believe. Brother or cousin, I can't remember. Now, the Rangers only got a C on this trade, so it's not the best, but it's not the worst. With such a young team, the issue with the trade most people have is that Max Scherzer has not had the best season so far. He started out very rough, and he's not been that good, but at the same time, it is Max Scherzer. We've seen him be terrible on one team, go to another team, absolutely light it up, go to another team and be terrible. So the verdict is still out on how this trade will benefit the Rangers. I think it was a smart move by the Rangers to go and get a big-name star such as Max Scherzer. But for the Mets, I mean, this was exactly what you wanted from a deal like this. You get a very young, very talented infielder in Acuna, and not to mention, as much as the Mets are paying, this is what they needed. They needed to offload Scherzer's contract as much as they could, and it seems like they did just that. Taking another look at some of these...
Speaking of the Mets, you want to talk about Verlander getting dealt too?
I was about to say, I was just going to talk about how the Mets kind of sold a lot here. I want to get the details on these before I start talking about them. Here we go. Justin Verlander went to the Astros. Now I could be wrong. He's going back to the Astros, correct? He's been at the Astros once before. I'm pretty sure he was at the Astros, traded. Went to the Mets. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was with the Astros, went to the Mets in the offseason, he got traded, and now he's back in Houston. And
after restructuring his contract with the Astros, he restructured it with the Astros because that was a huge thing going into the season.
Well, Verlander is a top-notch pitcher, regardless of if he's over the hill or whatever you want to. Put the label on him. Verlander's going to be good until he retires. That's just a matter of the fact. And so the Astros got Verlander and up to $52.5 million. And the New York Mets got outfielders Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford. And both teams came out with an A rating on this trade because it benefits both of them immensely. And one of the other trades from the Mets is Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is gone from the Mets. He went to the Diamondbacks. And the Mets got shortstop Jeremy Rodriguez. So you can definitely tell that the focus has been on position players in this at this trade deadline for the Mets. They got rid of Tommy Pham. They get shortstop Jeremy Rodriguez. They get rid of Max Scherzer. They bring in Acuna, just infielder, utility guy in the infield. They got two outfielders for Verlander. I mean, as far as for the Diamondbacks, this is exactly what you needed. They got this at the very last minute. This was 10 minutes left, and the MLB trade deadline. Let me refocus my camera here, if it'll want to play ball with me. There we go. And Tommy Pham was one of those that a lot of people weren't putting offers in for. The Diamondbacks put an offer in, and the Mets had to sell. And they caught him at the right time. This is exactly what the deal needed to be for the Diamondbacks. And they kind of finessed the Mets into getting a very, very good player in Tommy Pham. A couple other trades. The Orioles got Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals. They ended up sending infielder Cesar Prieto and left-handed pitcher Drew Rom. Pretty decent trade, both sides. Not really a one side or another. The Yankees got Kenyon Middleton, which once again a whole lot of nothing trade. A whole lot of nothing there. Looking on here, Padres got a Scott Barlow, which once again both teams came out strong. Barlow got sent from the Kansas City Royals to the Padres, and in return they got right-handed pitchers Henry Williams and Jesus Rios. Dodgers got Ryan Yarbrough from the Kansas City Royals once again. Dodgers got left-handed pitcher Ryan Yarbrough, and Kansas City got two infielders in Devin Mann and Derlin Figueroa. Once again, whole lot of nothing team. Both teams came out pretty decent in that trade. No clear, decisive winner there. Marlins got Jake Berger. Absolutely baller name. Once again, both teams came out pretty decent in that trade. Miami got third baseman Jake Berger, and the White Sox got left-handed pitcher Jake Eder. Brewers got Andrew Chafin, which is great for the Brewers because it just adds to their rotation. Not good for the Reds, but great for the Brewers if you're a Brewers fan. So, and they didn't lose a whole lot. The Brewers sent one of their right-handers from, I want to say, their bullpen. So, I mean, to get a very solid pitcher, Andrew Chafin, for one of your bullpen guys is, I was reading, I'm pretty sure he is part of their bullpen. But, I mean, pretty good trade for the Brewers. They definitely won that trade. Diamondbacks, okay. Decent return. The Phillies, Eli's Phillies, got Michael Lorenzen, old Cincinnati Red. The Phillies got Lorenzen from the Detroit Tigers. Tigers sent Michael Lorenzen to get Hao Yu Lee from the Phillies. Once again, both sides pretty even on that trade. I'm just kind of looking
It's
through
helped us
here.
a lot.
I mean, a lot of these are just like both teams kind of either like both teams got a B or a C. It was very, very equal as far as trades go. The one trade deadline deal that the Reds did pull was that they got Sam Moll from the Oakland Athletics for Joe Boyle, who is a minor league pitcher in the Reds system. Reds got a B, Athletics got an A. Boyle has tremendous upside if he can reach that upside. That's the issue with Boyle. It all depends if he can. Boyle's a solid pitcher, don't get me wrong. He could probably work. Right now, he could probably be a solid deep bullpen guy for an MLB team. Like, if you have to go deep in your bullpen, you're bringing out Joe Boyle. But if he can develop into really what he can be, that's a great trade for the Athletics. Knowing that they need all of the star power that they can get. Once again, another Met name off the board. The Mets sent Mark Canha to the Brewers for right-handed pitcher Justin Jarvis. Once again, both teams came out pretty decent in that trade. There was one more. Yeah, the Angels got Randall Grichuk and C.J. Cron. And they sent right-handed pitcher Jake Madden and left-handed pitcher Mason Albright to the Rockies. So, I mean, kind of bolstering that lineup around Shohei and Trout. Ever so slightly. The Blue Jays got Jordan Hicks from St. Louis. And in return, they sent right-handed pitchers Sam Robersay and Adam Kloffenstein. Once again, both teams came out fine. I mean, one of my favorite players in the league, Joe Kelly, got sent back to the Dodgers along with Lance Lynn.
Love Joe Kelly.
The White Sox sent outfielder Trace Thompson, right-handed pitcher Nick Nastrini, and right-handed pitcher Jordan Leisure. It's great for the White Sox. Decent for the Dodgers. Marlins got David Robertson from the Mets. Once again, Mets sold big time because they had to sell big time. Mets actually got the winning side of that trade. Brewers also got Carlos Santana from the Pittsburgh Pirates. They sent Johnny Severino, infielder Johnny Severino, to Pittsburgh. Pretty decent trade. And as far as the trades go, those are some of the biggest ones I just kind of rattled off. Touch on standings real quick because we always do. Orioles are still leading in the AL East. What?
3 updates that may mess with these standings. The Tigers just beat the Twins 6-0. Marlins just beat the Reds 3-2. And the Rays just beat the Cardinals 4-2. Those are live updates as per recording. So Reds just
I
took
don't
another
think it
loss.
messes.
I don't think it was a big enough gap between the teams that it shouldn't mess anything up.
Yeah,
everything's kind of spread out right now.
I just updated the standings, and they also look similar. So, starting in the AL East, the Orioles still leading. Rays are 2.5 games back behind them. AL Central, still, all AL East teams are above 500. So, once again, perks of playing in the toughest division in the MLB. AL Central, your Twins are leading the way. Next closest team is the Guardians, 5.5 games back. Your AL West, you got your Texas Rangers leading the way. Astros 3 games back. Like I said, the Angels are 11.5 games back. Hoping they get a playoff berth to have any chance of re-signing Shohei Ohtani. NL East, no surprise, the Braves are still on top. The Phillies are second, 9.5 games back. The absolute wild, wild west that the NL Central is, the Brewers are still in the lead, but only by a game and a half, with the Reds right behind them. And the Cubs also are only 2.5 games back now. So another team making a three-way race for the NL Central. And then NL West, the Dodgers are your number one team with the San Fran Giants, 4 games back. Update on worst team in the league. It is still the Oakland Athletics.
Damn.
With your Kansas City Royals as the second worst team. And then the Rockies as the third worst team. And I think that is all from the MLB.
All right. So we're going to shift gears metaphorically to the world of motorsport real fast. In the world of
there was
motorsport,
such a great transition for that. You could have just said shifting gears and been done with it. Just done with it with shifting gears, and you would have been fine.
Okay, do you want to host this next time? That's what I thought. You're too scared to do an intro, even back when you were the champ. We'll touch on the IndyCar first, as that is what retained my championship. There have been 3 races since the last we recorded. Joseph Newgarden won the first 2, and Kyle Kirkwood won the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix in Nashville, with the results reading like this, if they would load for me. They are not loading up for me. Palu finished 3rd, Dixon finished 5th, and Rossi finished like 2 laps down. Those are the only 3 that matter.
I tried.
Eli, honestly, not a bad pick for Rossi. I couldn't watch the race. Austen, did something just go wrong for Rossi during the race, or?
I don't know. I kind of started watching halfway through, and it just said he was 2 laps down, so I'm guessing he was involved in an accident or something on pit lane.
That is 2 races now
I'm
that
not
I
sure.
picked somebody that's happened to. 2 times now.
Well, maybe Eli's the curse. Maybe Eli needs to pick the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year or something.
What?
I expected a smart-ass remark. We're switching over to NASCAR. Since F1 is on summer break, just imagine Max Verstappen wins every weekend, and there we go. There's been 2 races in the NASCAR world. Denny Hamlin won at Pocono in very controversial fashion, to where even the fans of his that were in Pocono booed him and told him he was number 1 on both hands, not using their pointer fingers. And the other race we missed was at Richmond. It was rained out on day 1, so they had to race it on Monday. Buescher brought it home. Denny Hamlin 2nd and Kyle Busch in 3rd, along with Joey Logano in 4th, and Ryan Preece, the Stewart-Haas car, rounding out the top 5. What I saw from that race, it was pretty all right. We have coming up next week, they're racing at Michigan, I believe. No, Michigan was this week. I apologize. I was clicking on the wrong one. They're back in Indy, running the road course in Indy, where they should be running the Brickyard. It then said they're running the Indy road course. But all my feelings aside, that is your motorsports update. Which then leaves us with the topic of football. And we're going to start with the college game first. There's been a lot of realigning going on recently, huh? The Big Ten just keeps growing and growing. Recently adding... Good.
There was something I saw, and I think I sent it to you guys on one of the group chats of the fact that it's called the Big Ten, and they have added way past 10, and they like span out all across. It's this huge jumbled mess of I think now 15 teams. Is that what the number they've gotten up to now? They've gotten up to like 15
It's something
teams.
like that.
At this point, number one, no longer just the Big Ten, obviously. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with this, other than I feel like we're seeing the beginning. I said it last episode. I feel like we're seeing the beginning of the NFL and the NCAA of here are your main conferences. This 3 conferences, and that's it. So you have your NFC, AFC, or your Big Ten. I think it's the Pac-12 is the other one, and the SEC.
No. Pac-12 is dying. It's the Big 12.
The Big 12.
Yeah, the Pac-12 is the Pac-12 is having a glory run this year.
So I've got all of the new conferences pulled up. I'll rattle them off real quick. The ACC, nothing has changed. The ACC still stays the same. Sorry, I had a hair. ACC still stays the same. The Big 12 is the first conference that has made some moves. So new Big 12 in the 2024 season, you're looking at Arizona, Kansas, Arizona State, Kansas State, Baylor, Oklahoma State, BYU, TCU, Colorado, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, Utah, Iowa State, and West Virginia. Your new Big Ten teams going into the 2024-25 season, they're up to 18 teams. You've got Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, and Washington. Your new SEC looks like this going into the 2024-25 season, up to 16 teams. Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. The current teams in the Pac-12 that still remain are 4.
Prayers
Cal,
up for the Pac-12.
Oregon State, Stanford, Washington State. Now the question is, what will the Pac-12 do?
Die.
There are really only 2. There are really only 2 reasonable options here for the Pac-12. They either disband and all 4 of those teams join the Mountain West, or pretty much the Mountain West joins the Pac-12. Take your pick. Really, either one of them can happen. I'm more so leaning towards the Pac-12 not existing and everyone joining the Mountain West versus bringing all the Mountain West teams into the Pac-12, because the Pac-12 has had like super high standards as far as like academically. And so that would not work for them. So I think they would rather just take their ball, go home, join the Mountain West, and that be that. Looking at the Mountain West, the teams in the Mountain West right now are Air Force, Boise State, Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, San Jose State, UNLV, Utah State, and Wyoming. And then, like I said, you might as well go ahead and throw Cal, Oregon State, Stanford, and Washington State in the mix, which is crazy because I don't think any of those teams run away with the Mountain West. I think they can be put in the Mountain West and still be competitive, except for maybe Washington State and Cal. Depending on Cal, the year that they have, they can be really strong or really bad. The Washington State's typically pretty decent. But also, for those of you that are wondering, there's still 4 independents as well. And FBS college football, you got Army, UConn, UMass, and Notre Dame. All the group of
I didn't
five,
know UConn was still. Huh.
yeah,
They're
they
gonna be
will
the first
probably
to
join
fold.
the ACC.
They're gonna be
Yeah.
the first to fold.
They'll probably join the ACC.
Are they one of them that's like ACC for everything except football? Is that
Well, that's
is that
what
they
Notre
are?
Dame is too.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
We all
But
got forced to join.
as far as the group of 5s, they pretty much stay the same. And I wouldn't even call this people are calling it conference realignment. This is conference consolidation. There is no realignment. All the conferences are just becoming giant conferences. So, I mean, as far as college football goes, that's pretty much the skinny of it. I mean, everyone's joining the bigger conferences if they get the chance to, so
Yeah.
RIP to the Pac-12. No defense was ever played there, and it looks like they didn't play any defense to try and get their teams back, so...
I'm not gonna lie though, watching the Pac-12 at like 9:30 at night, seeing the score be 52-50 and it only be in the third quarter was some of the funnest shit I've ever had in my entire
When we
life.
started this podcast, me and Austen stayed up watching. I forget what game it was. I'm pretty sure it was a Pac-12 game, and it lasted what was only supposed to be an hour. Lasted like a whole other 3 hours after.
Just because of the offense.
That was
Notre Dame, wasn't it?
no. That we did watch Notre Dame get beat by Marshall,
Yeah.
but that was the West Virginia Pitt game.
Oh yeah. It was like
Because it
50
started before we recorded, and it was
Fuck.
still going after we got done recording.
There was like 3 football games that finished in between that. It was so stupid.
But yeah, as far as realignments go, that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot else has been happening in college football. Teams are slowly getting exposed for the way that they treat players and such, Georgia being one of them. So, something to keep an eye on. Hardball for Michigan's looking at a 4-game suspension for recruiting violations. So, not that it matters, because Michigan's first 4 games are
Cupcake.
cakewalks. Yeah. Here, I'll read them off to you. Yeah, so their first 4 games are East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers.
But Rutgers has history.
Shut the hell
Cool.
up. Shut your bitch ass up.
So yeah, I think Michigan will suffice those 4 games without Jim Harbaugh at the helm.
Watch, they lose.
Michigan will find a way to go 0-4. I know
Nope.
Michigan.
Yeah, they're gonna lose every single one.
I hope they do, because if they lose to Rutgers, they should lose to Nebraska, they should lose to Minnesota, and there should be a pretty decent game in the big house for Indiana, seeing as they would be 0-6 facing Indiana,
Yeah.
if that somehow were to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana selling their tickets inside of a store.
Yeah, no, I was at Costco and they were selling nondescript game tickets, like
Because
$70. I don't know
their
how I feel about
shit.
that.
And so they had to sell their shit tickets for $70 to whatever game inside Costco. Because they're shit and no one wants to buy
Perks of being a
them
member.
online.
Perks of being a Costco member, I guess. And however you feel about conference realignment, whether it's killing conferences, giving teams chances, however you feel about it, there's plenty of interviews out there. But the one interview I liked the most was the one actually Austen you sent out.
The
was
Mizzou
the Iowa
coach?
Hawkeyes coach. Mizzou, sorry, it was the Mizzou coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he was talking
almost
about-
thought about editing that
Yeah.
and putting it in this.
Because it talks about how much it affects other sports too, not just football. And he goes in depth and actually shows that he cares about, the college and not just the football team. So if you got time to look that up, it's a really good. It was like a good 7-minute speech, wasn't it?
I'll look at it real quick. I don't think it was that long. The snippet that I sent you wasn't that long.
I know, but I thought that it was
It was really good. He's very well spoken. I am not a Mizzou fan, seeing as I am a Georgia fan, but he definitely he made a lot of sense.
It was very easy to understand to a basic degree. It was very easy to grasp, understand, and
I don't know why
sympathize with.
I think it got taken down. It's not popping up now.
Wow. Oof.
I'm probably not going to be as. I was going to say, I'm probably not going to be as well spoken as he was. I can understand, but as having to watch Notre Dame kind of get brought into other conferences, because I think this past basketball season, both of our basketball teams got shoved into the ACC. It's not been terrible for us getting shoved in. I mean, we got some really good basketball games out of it. They showed up, and the men's team kind of was, the women's team immediately got their footing and went with it. But I can see the good in a lot of these teams kind of joining in with the conferences and everything else, and maybe getting better games to prove that their college team is actually pretty decent. I just don't. Notre Dame has been on a independent conference, the FBS, for however long now. It's NBC that we're partnered with, right? As we have a deal with them.
Yeah.
We've had that deal going on for years now. That's how you watch our games. That's how the games. That's where we are. It's where we've been. I don't know what will happen to that if we get shoved into a conference, if we still keep that deal, if our players get shoved into another conference like the ACC. If we get shoved completely into the ACC, if that contract disappears, it's not going to hurt us in the long run. It's going to suck. It's going to take some money out. But it's not going to hurt us in the long run. My only worry with it, and a lot of these smaller teams that have had a lot of easier schedules, is they're going to be put into conferences with teams that I think will destroy the shit out of them year after year after year after year. I don't think that they're going to stand. Essentially, but it's going to be... I feel like we're going to get a mainstay in the playoffs. We're going to have the freaking Patriots legacy with Georgia, Alabama coming up soon. It's going to be... I don't know. I just don't like the consolidation of all the conferences in the college level. I'm not for it by any means. Do not like it.
Let's be honest, though. Notre Dame's going to join the Big Ten so that way they can have their rivalry week game with USC locked in. Last game of the season, let's be honest. That's where it's going to go. That's how it's going to happen.
Why don't we have Catholics versus convicts anymore?
I don't know. You have to ask Notre Dame. They're the one that canceled on the U.
It just makes very little sense to me.
I mean, if they join the ACC, we can.
I can't remember the exact reason why. I could probably find it very easily, but...
And it was the Mizzou coach. I looked it up.
Were you able to find it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. For whatever reason, the what I sent you on it just deleted it, so I got taken down. But yeah, if you just search Mizzou football coach realignment on YouTube or whatever it is, it'll pop up. It's pretty interesting. Him talking is like around 13 minutes long, but I don't think that's him talking about the realignment. I think that's just him answering questions. He is a football coach after all, so.
It was at like the press day for the SEC. So
I've read a couple different things real quick. Just everything. Everything is pretty much saying that they would canceled it because it's no longer 1988, 1990. It's no longer essentially a rivalry. It's just a nostalgia trip. Is why Notre Dame and Miami no longer hold the game anymore.
So they don't want to lose to a mediocre ACC school. Gotcha.
I am just stating what
That's
everybody
what I
else is
heard, too.
stating. I am just stating.
So they're scared of the U. Gotcha.
well, that sounds like some drama. Speaking of drama, we got a lot to talk about with the NFL. Oh
Dear
my
God.
God. NFL running backs. What the hell is going on?
The NFL running backs pretty much just decided to take a strike. They said,
Basically,
nah.
throughout the league, NFL running backs just decided we're good.
Well, some of them have actual gripes. Like Josh Jacobs has a gripe to his contract. He did a hell of a job last year. I think he did the most rushing yards in the season. I don't know if he set a record or not, but he had a hell of a
I
gripe
doubt
to
he
do.
set that record.
I don't know. I don't know if he set a record or not, but he had a hell of a season. And then they wanted to come back at him with a lowball contract when he did a hell of a lot more than anybody else on that team did. And when all
You
your
watch
players
your
are
mouth.
saying, when all the players are saying that Josh
You
Jacobs
watch your
should have
mouth.
had
You
an
don't talk
extended
about the Raiders
contract.
like that.
I'm going to talk shit all I want because they're a bunch of shitheads that
Not-
can't pay the running back who
All
did
right,
amazing.
All right. Yeah, reel it in, buddy. You like your rivals' teams. Reel it in. I want to hear from you. I was going to say not necessarily the Raiders, but Derek Carr. But here you go. You've gone
I
off
got
the
no
deep end
problem
now.
with Derek Carr. But at the same
Well, that's
Speaking
crazy
of
time,
because
Derek
Derek Carr
Carr-
was on the
Well,
team last year.
Yeah.
what all did he do with them? I don't have a problem with Derek Carr, but what all did they do with them?
Nothing, because Josh McDaniels is a clown.
We learned that as Indianapolis Colts fans.
He's a clown. He shouldn't be coaching any team anywhere. He should be back in college. Destroying some program. Call him Lane Kiffin.
Oh, God.
They'll send him to Notre Dame.
There you go. Shot in the arm you need.
Yeah, that's what we
So,
need.
Eli, you mentioned last year's leading rushers. So now I've got last year's chart pulled up. Josh Jacobs did lead the league. Then went Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon, Miles Sanders, and then Dalvin Cook, sixth leading rusher last year.
Can't find a team. Can't find a team anyway.
And he's not on a team.
Because Minnesota didn't want to pay him for shit. What
But
did
that
Minnesota
means that
do?
somebody in the market should, right?
You would think, but no one's wanting to pay the running back. So why would? Who's going to pick them up if they're not going to pay them?
Little update on that. The Patriots were a front runner for Dalvin Cook, and they are almost certainly out of paying Dalvin Cook anything.
Yeah. Just take a guess who the seventh leading rusher was last year in the NFL.
Lamar Jackson.
Just guess. Nope. Justin Fields.
Lamar Jackson is towards the top 10, isn't he?
Apparently, the Jets have shown heavy interest, though, in Dalvin Cook, so we'll...
He could do good with the Jets. I do honestly believe he could do good with the Jets. Anybody could do better than freaking half the team on the Jets, though.
Hey, you take that back.
Jets suck ass.
Jets, baby. Yeah, say that at the end of the year when they make the playoffs.
Can we also talk about how we watched the downfall of Kellen Mond right before our very eyes in the Hall of Fame game?
You want to take us through that real quick, Austen?
Oh my goodness! Me and one of my friends went to a bar, a little sports bar, to go watch not Cliff Sports Bar, another sports bar, to watch a Hall of Fame game. It was terrible. We were expecting more out of Kellen Mond, and we were making jokes like, because he threw a pick, and like he was walking off the field crying, and like I was like, I looked at Caleb and I said, you know why he's crying, right? And Caleb was like, no. I was like, because he probably just got cut. I said that was probably the interception that got him cut, and it didn't help when their rookie quarterback
Did a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, what's his name? It's
Oh,
DTR. I know that.
You're gonna make me
Oh,
pull up the
God.
damn roster.
Yeah, he came in and he actually did phenomenal. He led the Browns to a comeback and ended up winning the game. So it was Hall of Fame game was something else.
Didn't
It
the
is.
lights shut off
Dorian.
again?
Yeah.
Thompson Robinson.
Robinson.
Holy shit.
Yep. DTR.
He did.
So
and freaking Mike
lights
White
went off like lights went off like at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and it took him forever to get the lights back on. It was normal Hall of Fame game antics, honestly.
I
Yep.
would like to point out, though, that both of the Browns quarterbacks threw over 80 yards, over 70 even. None of the Jets quarterbacks
You're going the wrong way.
threw over 70. Boyle threw for 61, Wilson threw for 65, and Strevler threw for 9. That's
It's
three
the Hall of
quarterbacks that could have
Fame
hit
game,
over 60,
Eli.
70. I don't give a shit. Zach Wilson should be freaking trying to at least do something instead of falling
Zach
on his
Wilson
ass.
was laughing on the sideline. I don't think he was taking the Hall of Fame game very seriously.
Zach Wilson's a dumbass that shouldn't be playing still.
But back to the
I stand by that. I'll
back
die
to
on that
the
hill.
trade. Can I get a sentence out without you saying something outright diabolical,
Nope.
outright outlandish?
Nope.
Without you being a fiend.
So back to the free agency signings. The Lions did sign Teddy One Glove,
Yep.
former Pro Bowl quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is going to Detroit, along
The
with
Lions are
Kenyon
getting
Drake.
scary.
Kenyon Drake signed with the Colts amid all this Jonathan
Ooh.
Taylor stuff, which we haven't even discussed yet.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So, the entire Jonathan Taylor saga.
Dear
It
God.
started off with all of the NFL running backs in a Zoom call together, airing their grievances. And then the reports from Ian Rapport were just like, yeah, Jonathan Taylor's going to sit out training camp. And then he was there, I think it was like 18 minutes later at the training camp. And then, everything's fine. Everything was not fine. Everything
Bullet
was
Club
very
is
much
fine.
not fine.
Bullet Club is
Because
fine.
then Colts owner Jim Irsay had to get involved. And I believe the quote was, I could die and Jonathan Taylor could go out of the league and no one would care. This league moves on and runs us all over.
Well, that was
I
after
believe that was
everything
the
that
quote.
happened. That was after everything that happened. He made a absurd thing about running backs, I do believe. Jonathan Taylor said he wanted traded.
Oh yeah, that Twitter
The
post.
Trade.
Sorry,
then
X. That X post.
Irsay said he wasn't going to trade them.
Austen
Taylor
thrown
said
up.
he wanted to go. And then Irsay drops the death and out of league, and no one's going to miss either one of us. Out of completely
and then
left
Bro
field.
wants to drop $20 million to transport a whale to the ocean.
Yeah. And then there's that shit.
So I'm in the
Irsay's
minority.
wild.
I'm in the minority here. I think Irsay is fully valid in what he was doing.
He had me, but then he lost me.
I think Irsay was fully valid because of this. Jonathan Taylor had a huge regression last year from what he had been producing at. This is his contract year. I guarantee you Jim Irsay was going to wait to see how Jonathan Taylor did on the field this year. And if he was doing great the first half, would have offered him an extension before halfway through the season. If he wasn't doing that good, he probably would have waited longer, maybe till the end of the season for the extension, or not extended him at
Kick
all.
rocks.
This is not a bad move. This is what any other owner would have done. It's just a big deal now because it's a running back, and now running backs are apparently the prima donnas of the league.
Well,
Used to
I'm
be
glad it's not
quarterbacks.
receivers anymore.
Yeah, it used to be quarterbacks, then it was receivers, now it's running backs.
It doesn't help.
It's not our
with,
fault your longevity is like 2 years. It's not our
doesn't
fault you have
help
a
with
prime
what
of
the-
2 years. Go ask Todd Gurley.
Doesn't
Oh,
help with
Go
the-
ask Zeke Elliott. Hey, you know how much it hurts me to. You know how much it hurts me to say that. As much as of a Gurley fan I am,
yeah.
that one.
Sony Michelle.
but it's just true. It's not our own fault. You guys have like a 6-year longevity, and 2 out of the 6 years you're great. Not everyone's built like Frank Gore or Adrian Peterson who can run until they're 50. Your
Probably
knees
could still
are made
run.
of paper mache, and they will explode sooner or later. Hopefully later. Hopefully you get that longevity. But just because that happens doesn't mean you get all this pay. We are not paying you to sit on the sidelines with a torn ACL every year. I don't know where that disconnect happened. It makes no sense.
I don't disagree with that.
Honestly,
I
it
don't
probably was the Christian McCaffrey contract.
possibly more than
Well,
likely.
here's the thing about Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey can tear his ACL every year and come back before the end of the season and still throw up 50,000 yards. CMC is an outlier here.
Yeah.
CMC is not the normal. CMC is the Frank Gore or the Adrian Peterson. He can get hurt and come back stronger. This is not the normal case
Just
for an
can't throw.
NFL running back. He doesn't get paid to throw, so
I don't disagree with that at all. I 100% don't disagree with that. I just think the comments that were made from an owner of the team, especially the last one that was made, that to my knowledge, if I die,
Eli,
and you're
you
out
do.
of the league, no one is going to miss either one
I'm
of us.
ready to say
was
you
not
act like
needed.
this is anything new for Jim Irsay.
Have you
I
paid
know
attention
it's
to
not
any of the
anything
shit
new.
Jim Irsay has said over the last 10
I've
years?
heard the man wants to save a whale instead of pay some of his players that need paid, but I'm not even referring to Taylor at that point. I'm referring to some of the other ones that are on the team that probably need contract extensions
Also,
before
though,
Taylor does.
while we're talking about Jim Irsay, shout out to Jim Irsay for donating to the local animal shelter. He did that like 4 years ago, and they were able to like renovate the entire animal shelter. So shout out to Jim Irsay.
Yeah, he's also trying to pull a Free Willy here, so I mean, ain't nothing surprising me on that shit.
Huge humanitarian Jim Irsay.
Apparently so.
Huge philanthropist.
Oh god, but
It's just absurd how things in the NFL can get blown so far out of proportion. Just ask Antonio Brown.
and here's the thing too. The entire fan base was behind JT for like the first week of this, and then his agent got in and ruined it for everybody.
I forgot about that part too. That dude's a freaking dumbass. Through and through.
Like they did their job. The entire like fan base was
also,
behind him.
What's even better is the teams that are interested in JT. They're not a lot. According to NFL owners, the list it isn't long. So
that means there's like 2 teams out there.
probably, and one of them is probably the Commanders. So
I wouldn't want to play on the Commanders' field. I'm tearing ACL just looking at it.
yeah, bro requested a trade and this, that, the other. It's who knows. But the thing is, why would someone trade for Taylor when they can just sign Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, or Leonard Fournette?
Well,
Or Alvin Kamara.
what I sent you guys earlier, Alvin Kamara suspended for a few games.
Still under contract.
Um,
Oh, is he still
what I
under
sent you
contract?
guys earlier, Kareem
I'm
Hunt's
pretty
on
sure
a
this
visit
is
with the
his last year
Colts.
contract.
Oh,
So Kareem Hunt
that's
could be
what I
coming.
thought. I got Kareem Hunt and Alvin Kamara mixed up. That's on me.
Kareem could be coming to Indianapolis, which that would be a huge boost to that backfield.
Yeah.
Well, Kareem Hunt also has the issue of, one, off the field, and two, he gets hurt like once a year, where he misses
Yeah.
like 9 weeks of the season.
But
So
he's still
He's
able
a
to put up
rec-
decent
he's
numbers.
a receiving
though.
back too, isn't he? Yeah,
Mm,
I say he's not
he's a
really
speed back.
built
He's
for
a
the
speed.
Colts offense.
uh,
You need like a Saquon
is
Derrick
anybody
Henry
really built for the Colts offense
style runner. JT was and still
besides
is.
Quentin Nelson?
Not with this line.
Okay, with this line, no. Fair enough. You know what? I retract all my statements because I don't know what this new head coach and his system
Gardner
is going to be.
Minshew's going to die. Minshew's going to be out there for one play and get sacked and die.
I think you mean Anthony Richardson.
Do we really
know.
think he'll start week 1?
I'm hoping they play Minshew.
I think he will.
I don't think that they're going to play him for week 1. I think they're going to wait a few
They're
weeks.
very high on Anthony Richardson.
understand
So are all
that.
the other players.
But I think they're going to play Minshew for a couple plays at the most, a couple of plays the first week. And I think preseason is going to be a big tell for them, no matter what, though.
We play Texans week 1, don't we?
I think so. I think week 1 is Houston, but I
no.
think it's away Houston.
We play the Jags.
Oh, is it away or home?
Home.
Okay, so that could be a really good stage for Richardson to shine on, because the Jags kind of had our number last year.
Well, yeah, they also had T-Law, and they still have T-Law.
Yeah,
It's just going to keep getting better, so.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me if the Texans keep this team together. I've been saying this ever since the draft. I think I might have said it last episode. I'll say it again. I don't like the Texans in the slightest. I'm not a Texans fan. But if they keep this team together with all these young stars, they could be dangerous. And if they keep drafting the way they have been and signing maybe a couple big players in the offseason, they might fall ass backwards into a very good team.
That would be the Texan thing to do.
Well, that's about like what Cliff said. The Lions are looking hella dangerous right now. They
Okay,
could
don't you insult
potentially-
my Lions
I
like
am-
that. They worked into that team, damn it.
I said, what? I didn't insult them.
I'm about to say, I am a Lions fan, so...
I said they're looking hella dangerous. How the hell did I insult them?
You just
I was gonna
compared
say that
them
they could
to
have a playoff
team that we
run.
said was going to fall ass backwards into something.
No. I was going to say that I could see them potentially
Even
making a
Bro's internet
playoff
can't
run.
stand what he's saying. Well, you know the Lions are the betting favorites to win the NFC North right now, right?
Correct. It all depends on how Jordan Love is, though, to be honest.
I think he's going to fall on his face.
I don't know.
A
You
lot of
never
the
know.
Packers went over to the
Who
Jets.
knows? We
so,
might
I
get-
mean,
We might get prime Kirk Cousins this year. Who knows?
Is it a contract year?
I don't know, but I will stay hating on Kirk Cousins. I think he is terrible. I don't like Kirk Cousins at all.
So you don't like that.
I don't like Kirk Cousins. I don't like the Vikings, period. Only thing I like about the Vikings is that
it is a
the
contract
main
year.
color is purple. That's it.
Oh, no. Kirk in a contract year. Dear
Last
God.
offseason that is set to expire at the 2023 campaign. It is a contract year. And it was only a 2-year
You know what,
deal
Austin,
that
while
he
we're
signed.
talking about... Oh, God. We're talking about other teams. How's Tampa doing? How's your Buccaneers?
Baker,
How are they looking in camp?
Baker Mayfield. Baker.
That QB1 battle is probably pretty good, isn't it?
Baker
That
Mayfield.
probably sums it up right there. It's just Baker Mayfield.
It's Baker.
I just want to... At this point, if you're following sports online, you've seen this. Stetson Bennett has yet to take a snap in the NFL. His teammate, Sony Michel, came into the league, won 2 Super Bowls, played for 3 different teams, and is retired. And
5
Stetson
years,
Bennett
running
still
back.
has yet to take a snap. Stetson Bennett will probably end up being QB1 at some point throughout the year after Stafford tears his rotator cuff again. So, wish him the best of luck in
I
the
don't think he'll
Georgia
play
Bulldogs quarterback room.
QB1 for the Rams ever.
Oh no, Austen, that's a face.
I think
They
he's going.
still so they released a depth. They released the first depth chart going into the season. Depth chart for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers goes Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, no surprises. Tristan Wirfs, Matt Feeler, Ryan Jensen, Cody Mock, Luke Godeke, Cade Otten, I'm guessing that's how you say it, Russell Gage, running back Rashad White. QB is the only one with 2 names listed.
Sam Darnold.
Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask.
They're going to be splitting snaps.
There's a rule now in the NFL that they have to have 3. Apparently. It was a talking point.
Well, yeah, you have to have
week
the
that I saw.
emergency, but that's not what this list is.
No, this list is the depth chart.
It's
This
the depth
is like
chart.
your starters, and they
have Sam Darnold
don't
on the
know
practice
who
squad
their
right
starter.
Oh, God.
now.
The
But
Bucks really had no other option but to list Mayfield and Trask as equals on the starting line of the depth chart.
Did you guys see that picture of Carson Wentz while we're talking about quarterbacks? The Colts shorts, the Commanders jersey, and the Eagles helmet?
absolutely, I love it.
Yeah, because each of them are paying him like $20 million.
Something like that.
Choosing one or the other to list first would suggest that there is a current leader in the clubhouse. From all reports, that is not the case, and the upcoming preseason games are going to be critical in determining the final decision.
So the preseason's actually going to matter for Tampa. Oh, dear
Steelers
fuck.
versus Buccaneers.
Keep an eye. I'll probably say keep an eye on
Bucks,
that. That'll
Jets.
be interesting. I'm.
And the final
That's
game,
week 2 in the pre.
they don't have a week 4 game. So they
There
only
is no
have
week 4.
There is no week 4.
preseason, week 4, Steelers, Falcons, Colts, Eagles, Lions, Panthers, Patriots, Titans, Chargers, 49ers, Bills, Bears, Seahawks, Packers. I promise you,
There is no
looking on
week
it.
4 of the preseason, Eli. Each team gets 3 preseason games. Just because there's a week 4 doesn't mean each team plays 4 games.
I understand
It used to be a 4-game
that part.
preseason before they got rid of it.
I hate that too.
I
But-
guess they gave the Hall of Fame game its own week.
Yes, the Bucks only play 2 games, and it's the Bucks, Jets, and then the
How do they
Bucks
fall
and
into that?
the Bucks and the Steelers. I don't know how they fell into it.
but I'm ready for a parlay.
Well, I didn't finish.
Eli, they play the Ravens.
That ain't updated on my shit.
It's Steelers, Jets, Ravens in their preseason.
nice.
All right. And so, I, being the valiant champion I am, have decided a new way on how to defend my championship. In the sports world, there's multiple ways to sports bet, called a parlay, where you bet on multiple events and on outcomes. So I introduced to you the first ever Ace in the Hole National Association Championship parlay. As champion, I will pick 3 events, and each of the challengers will pick 1 event. And whoever has the highest score at the end of the parlay is the next champion. And this is to help cover the gap for 2 weeks, because we do this every other week and stuff. So I will go first. And you all must pick the winner of the opening weekend match between Manchester United and the Wolverhampton Wolves. Now, it's no secret I'm a huge Manchester United fan. They've made a lot of moves in this offseason. So I got to pick Man U opening weekend and see what happens.
I'm taking Man U as well. The Wolves are not that good.
Eli,
You know what? I don't know either of these teams,
you taking the Wolves?
so I'm taking the Wolves. Hell with it.
There we go.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know who they are.
Oh, sorry. Just kicked my cat. All right, Eli, after that barn burner of a pick, why don't you go ahead and introduce the event that you're going to have us predict?
We're in preseason time now, boys.
Oh, God. Okay, what game?
So, I could have picked the Texans and the Patriots. I could have picked the Steelers and Buccaneers. I could have done the barn burner that is Falcons and Dolphins.
How about instead of giving us what you could have picked and give us what you did pick?
Broncos, Cardinals.
Oh. Oh.
I think
Okay. Who do you have, Eli?
both of these are shit teams. I'm
It's gonna be a
intrigued.
shit show.
I'm intrigued to know what Sean Payton's doing with the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I
Austen?
hope he's been able to get them fixed.
I'm also going with the Broncos.
Yeah, no, I have the Broncos mainly just because I fully believe that Sean Payton's going to come out and absolutely light it up game one to make a statement, even if it is just the preseason.
Preseason time, boys.
So I will take my turn and go next. Who will win the NASCAR Verizon 200 at the Brickyard? It is the road course race, so it is not on the oval. And the point for this will go to whoever has the highest finishing car. I
assume this is a
am
part
going
of
to
the
take
Cup Series.
SVG. Yeah, I'm
You
taking
think
SVG.
he's going to go back to back?
I think he's going to go back to back, 2 for 2. That's how he won in Chicago. Now, the only other person I see being a threat is Chase Elliott because he needs a win to get into the playoffs.
He's not going to be a threat.
But I think he's already phoning it in this season. So I'm taking SVG to go 2 for 2 in his NASCAR debut season.
Who's up next? Cliff.
Well, who you got, Eli?
I was about to say, I think Eli goes since he wanted to speak up.
Yeah. My brother's going to pick Bubba Wallace.
Shit. Who did I pick last time? I think I picked Hamlin last time.
Last time you picked... Yeah, you picked Denny Hamlin.
I'm going to go Truex this time.
Well, I can't pick Truex anymore.
No, you can. It just would be a shared point. That's a fair pick, though. He's either really good or crashes out at the road course. There's no in between with him.
So he hasn't
So-
You
changed.
know
his
who else
system
is
to
really
watch.
good at road courses?
Hamlin?
Chase Elliott?
Don't pick
This
Busch.
season, idiots.
I haven't watched this season.
I mean, Truex won in Sonoma.
Chastain.
Tyler Reddick won at Circuit of Americas.
Yeah, he did win at
And
Coda.
Cliff, since you're such a betting odds man, who has the second best odds to win behind Martin Truex Jr.? I'm not even going to let you answer. It's Tyler Reddick. I'm taking Tyler Reddick.
Fair enough. I
I'm
don't know, I
not
just
going
think-
for the win. I'm not thinking he's going to win. I think he's just going to finish better than both of your guys.
I'm just
what you
taking the
need.
long shot just because I really do think SVG can go 2 for 2.
He's not even in the standings right now.
That would be the stuff of miracles. Austen, we're going to go ahead and have you go next
All right.
with your event.
For my event, it encompasses 3 matches. So we're going to go with whoever wins the series. It's 3 matches over 2 days. So don't give me that look. We're going to do the cricket matches between Germany and Guernsey.
What? Germany and who?
Guernsey. It is a small island off the coast of France, right by Jersey. They play a 3-match series starting August 14th at 8:30 a.m. They play another match at August 14th on 12:30 p.m. and then August 15th at 8:30 a.m. So who wins the series between Germany and Guernsey?
I thought you were going to do an esports event.
I could have done Rocket League World Championships.
I got my pick.
Go ahead, Eli.
Ich wähle Deutschland.
Germany. Heard.
Bro thought he was funny, even though he doesn't sprechen Sie Deutsch.
What?
See,
Sprechen Sie
exactly.
Deutsch.
Exactly.
Du kannst. Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
I want Cliff to pick.
I'm not picking. Austin's going to go.
Yes,
It's his
you
sport.
are. You're next. No, you're next. I picked
Bruh.
last.
For every
my
sport we've
sport.
introduced, the person who's
Yeah,
introduced it
guess
has
what?
guessed first. I'm
No,
the
too
champion.
bad.
I make
He
the
already-
rules.
Yeah, it's my sport, though. Go ahead and guess.
I make the rules here, damn it. Ugh, I feel like there's a reason you picked this one. And not knowing either of the teams, there's a country I recognize and a country I don't recognize.
He's going Germany.
I'm gonna bet against Germany. Germany will lose. I just cannot say that name to save my life.
What's the name?
Guernsey?
I'm just gonna put-
Guernsey?
Guernsey.
Guernsey.
I'm gonna put Gun as the
Okay.
name.
I'm going with Germany. The German national team has been playing a lot longer than Guernsey has.
I
They
have
also
no idea.
have a lot more wins, and they're very streaky. Germany is. Guernsey had a good run of wins recently, I do believe, but Germany also, I think, just has a better chance at getting wins here. I mean, they're both 2-2 in their last 4 matches. So
Watch me just pick the sweep.
well, Cliff, what's the last one?
All right. Give me a second. I had it and it went away.
Cricket really blew his mind.
Yeah, cricket had me fucked up.
I almost
All
did
right.
West Indies versus India, but
Dear God, I would have picked.
I don't know if that
India.
would have been
happens, like-
better.
well, that happens like tomorrow, so I wanted to pick something a little later.
All right,
Astros
you boys
beat
ready?
Royals.
So, this will be another whoever can pick the best. Whoever's team makes it the furthest. Oh, never mind. This will go after our next episode. I can't do that. Never mind.
Well,
I was
Well,
going to
That's
do
why
the.
we don't let you host.
I have another one. I had to back.
Okay.
Fuck off, Eli.
I was just
we
gonna
must
give
now
live
pick
updates.
the winner of Manchester United's second week match between Tottenham and Man United.
Make sure you zip up after all this glazing, bro. Jesus Christ.
I'm going Tottenham.
Listen. The Premier League's back. I'm happy. You're the one who did fucking.
Bro's picking Tottenham over.
You're picking
Man U?
Tottenham?
I'm picking Tottenham. I'm picking Tottenham. Look, I just have to win the Wolves, Broncos, and Truex. That puts me
Bro,
up
the
enough.
Wolves barely made it into the Premier League
It
last
don't
year.
matter.
Yeah,
The
I'm picking
Wolverhampton
Tottenham.
Wanderers.
I shouldn't have to tell you who I'm picking here.
So
I'm
we got
picking
2 Man
Tottenham.
U. All right. Looking through the picks. Week 1, the match between Man U and the Wolverhampton Warriors. Me and Austin picked Manchester United, and Eli picked the Wolves. We in the second leg of the parlay, we all picked the Broncos to beat the
Let's
Cardinals.
ride.
And the third leg, we had the NASCAR race. Never again. We had the third. We had the race at the IMS Road Course. I picked SVG. Austin, you picked Tyler Reddick, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
And Eli picked Truex.
Truex.
Sorry, I had you guys in the wrong slots. And then for the cricket match, I have Guernsey, and the other 2 picked Germany.
Oh my God, you should have done the Arsenal game.
It's not within. It's not before we record the next one. I would have, but it's not before
August
we record the next
12th?
one. Oh, that's preseason. That doesn't count. The Premier League. I'm doing the Premier League.
I'm looking at it right now. Premier League, Saturday, August 12th. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest.
Oh, no. I only care about Man United. I don't care
Tottenham.
about, I don't care
It
about...
probably would have been a closer game than Man U versus Tottenham and Man U versus Wolves.
Tottenham.
I don't know. Tottenham's going to fuck around and have a good team this year. And in the last leg, Eli picked Tottenham. And me and Austen picked Manchester United. Do we have time to guess the athlete?
I mean, yeah, we're already here.
All right. Austen, left or right?
Oh, shit.
Right.
Heard. All righty. Your hint is that this man is a baseball player.
He wasn't on the dream team.
Shut up,
Yeah,
Eli.
Rodman was not on the dream team.
I'm never going to hear the end of that. This man has played for 4 different teams in the MLB. His last MLB appearance was September 22nd, 2020. And he has pitched 2 no-hitters. He is a right-handed batter and threw right-handed. And he was drafted out of high school.
I think I already know who this is.
Okay.
Is this Homer Bailey?
I hate you. Like, how?
The 2
How?
no-hitters gave it away. We're on the same wavelength, dude!
That's how I got Austen Collie.
Homer Bailey, the random 2 no-hitters, bro.
Nearly perfect twice. All right, Eli, you ready for the scraps?
Absolutely,
For
man.
what it's worth, I'm sorry, buddy.
Let's do this.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Put me out to the pasture.
This
Oh,
man played in the NFL
Woo!
for a single team in his entire career.
What?
Was drafted in the first round with the 11th overall pick. He is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, led the league in passing for 2 years. He was the PFWA All-Rookie Team. He was the MAC Most Valuable Player, MAC Offensive Player of the Year, and MAC Freshman of the Year. His number in college was retired. He has some NFL records. And those will be available with hints. He is not Hall of Fame eligible yet. But many
I know
argue
who this
he
is.
will be Hall of Fame eligible.
I know who this is. Mac Legend.
All right, Eli.
A little too handsy.
Don't help him.
I had
Do you need a
somebody
hint,
in mind.
Eli?
I had somebody in mind, and Austen just said that and completely knocked it out. Give
Definitely not Deshaun Watson.
All right. You want a hint? Here's your hint. He went to Miami of Ohio. He is
that
from
helps so
Ohio,
much.
Findlay, Ohio. He was his NFL records are he has the most career 500-yard passing games. He has the most he's tied for the most career perfect passer rating games, and he has the most completions in a regular or postseason game. His passer rating for his career was 93.5. His completion percentage was 64.4. He has over 8,000 passing attempts and over 5,000 completions. He was drafted in 04. And that is the year he won the Rookie of the Year and all that stuff.
And he's a quarterback.
He is... I mean, I did give you passing records.
He's a quarterback. 11
He
years,
is known
you said?
as a MAC legend.
That
Oh,
get that out of here.
no, he was picked in the 11th round. His
11th
career
round.
was
He was not
2004.
picked in the 11th round.
11th pick, first round.
I was
11th
doing
pick,
math.
round 1.
That was what was confusing me.
17-year NFL career.
2004. 2 Super Bowls.
Played for only one team in his NFL career.
You're a bitch.
Am I?
There's only a few quarterbacks
That have only won 2 Super Bowls.
out of 2004 that were worth a damn.
Oh, he also owns several franchise records and is. Here's a free hint for you. He is arguably the second most successful quarterback in his franchise's history.
Can I get number?
If you want to blow your next hint.
I will blow my next hint. Give me a number.
All right. In college, the number that was retired was number 7. The Miami of Ohio Redhawks retired number 7. This man.
The handsy comment makes sense now. It's Big Ben, isn't it?
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
All too hazy.
The handsy comment was throwing me for a loop the whole time. Like, I don't know. And then you said 2004, so then I was going through. I'm like, Eli Manning won 2, but he wasn't in the MAC. And then
That's initially who I thought it was Eli Manning too, and then he said the Mac. I said, "Oh, that's Big Ben, baby."
I forgot
the
Big
Mac
Ben was
legend.
I forgot Big Ben was in MAC. Yeah, no,
Miami
that's
of Ohio.
your bit. 2004 was my freaking draft. It should not have taken me that long to figure that out.
You know how hard it is to find a quarterback that's
not
won
hard.
only 2 Super Bowls that has
No.
mid stats? It's very easy. I just had to pick the right one. I'll give you Bart Starr next week.
I could find a quarterback that you want to be able to guess very easily. It would be no problem.
I'm going to give Eli Bart Starr next week.
You want to try it?
No,
Champ don't want to lose.
I'm good. So yeah,
scared.
Champ's scared.
close it up with who's got your sports shout out for the week? Austen, who's got your sports shout out for the week?
I'm actually going to insert the gimmick I was going to do on our wrestling podcast because I didn't get to do it. We had to wrap it up because of storms.
Okay, go
We were
ahead.
trying to hurry off. So I'm calling this Gare Bear's hot take of the week. I've got 4 takes that progressively get hotter
Oh
as
no!
they go on.
I'm gonna mute my
The
mic.
first one, like I said, this is pertaining. 2 of them are pertaining to wrestling. 2 of them are just greater things in general. The first one is that AEW needs to completely revolutionize their women's division. It is not that good. It has been lackluster. They need to do something with it, and they need to do something big with it. The next one after that, Dalton Castle has to hold gold and should be holding gold either in AEW or ROH. He is too good. He is too over. He's too consistent to not be holding gold. He should have won the TV title off of Samoa Joe. This third one and my second most hot take, Marvel can't make any good female character. That sounds very misogynistic, but if you look at the characters they have made, they have not been very good. Captain Marvel, not very good. Black Widow, not very good. They made Taskmaster a woman. Not a woman, massacred the character. Scarlet Witch, terrible. Not a good character. WandaVision was terrible. What?
Keep going. Keep
Eli's
going.
raring up to say something.
Keep going.
I was gonna say the only one that I can somewhat stand is Miss Marvel, and that's because she's supposed to be an annoying teen.
What about Gamora?
Gamora was nothing. She was
argue-
decent, but she wasn't like.
First off, Taskmaster has been a female in the comic books before, so that comment is not MCU made it.
Get a load of this guy.
Fuck you. I can't disagree with the Taskmaster comic though, because they butchered that to shit.
It wasn't even that she was a female. It was that she.
They butchered her to shit.
It wasn't even that it was necessarily a. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that Taskmaster was a female. It was just that the character. It's one of my favorite villains in all of Marvel, and they absolutely just massacred it.
Well, it's supposed to be this whole academy of people who were trained to be that, and then they made it one with this terrible backstory and everything else. It was butchered the shit. I don't necessarily agree with this Black Widow comment. I think a standalone movie was terrible. Straight up. Standalone movie.
So in
garbage.
turn,
Her character in all the other films was
what else is it other than? What else is her character other than Captain America's side piece in any of the Avengers movies? Please tell me that.
Iron Man, she was still working as a spy. At the beginning of the Avengers movie, she was a spy on mission, used to bring Bruce in. I will give you about...
My thing
The
is,
second
she did
Avengers
not
movie
play a big
ruined
enough
her.
part. She did not play a big enough part of the Avengers as a whole to really matter. It didn't make me care about her. So, I mean...
that's the only one I really don't fully agree with you on.
I was ready to say, and that
like Brie
one
Larson.
I'm willing... At least someone agrees with me.
Brie Larson's not that good of an actress. Hands down.
I was willing to hear some arguments about Black Widow. The Scarlet Witch, not good. Not good at all.
They ruined that one.
None of the... They just can't... They just can't make a female character to save their lives. And I don't know what it is. It's just... It baffles me.
It's them trying to carry it from the
know.
comic book over to the movie. Is there something that changes between it? I would have to say something that just completely changes from the pages of the book to the pages of the script. That just kind of...
The villain in Ragnarok was pretty alright.
Hela was done perfectly. Hela was done to a T to the character. That was following the comic.
That's what I've been sitting here trying to think of the name.
To the movie. That was done perfectly. That's how it's supposed to be done. I'm not saying that it always has to follow the comic. I'm just saying certain characters you can't stray completely into creativity zone. But I'll mute my mic again. Austen, hit your fourth one.
My fourth one,
no.
I don't think either of you will have. This is the hottest take. I've already gotten into a couple, 3 arguments with fans of this certain artist because of this comment. Like I said, you two probably won't have any say-so in it, but you would not have modern-era Taylor Swift without Lana Del Rey.
That's just facts.
But a lot of Swifties do not agree. What Taylor's doing now, Lana Del Rey has been doing for years. And I personally like Lana Del Rey a lot more than Taylor Swift. I find her voice a lot more interesting. It's a lot more interesting to listen to. Her songs are just better composed, better produced, in my opinion. It's just more interesting listening to Lana Del Rey versus Taylor Swift. Like, everything about it's just more interesting to me.
We're lucky Richie doesn't listen to this, or else he would be yelling right now.
Who?
Rich?
I'm gonna ignore my microphone keeping itself off for the longest time while you were talking as a hint that I shouldn't say anything. I've never been a fan of Taylor Swift, beginning to now. think that a lot of her music, country-wise, was not extremely good. I'm not.
Yeah, he probably tried to rip me a new one, but I spin him facts. That's all
I
it is.
can't say
Yeah.
that I've ever listened to Lana Del Rey, but I would honestly probably take her music over Taylor Swift's any day of the week. If I had to listen to Taylor Swift to stop listening to music in general, I would stop listening to music in general. I don't think that she's all that good. I think she was better in country than what she is now.
My thing is, I don't hate Taylor Swift. Don't get it misconstrued. Don't come at me if there's any Taylor Swift fans listening to this. She's all right. Have that. She's not Michael Jackson status like some of you like to say, but she's all right.
I think the fans are worse than her.
It's just what? Oh, the fans. Some of the fans are. Whew, those Swifties get kind of crazy, but it's just what Taylor Swift is doing now. Lana Del Rey has been doing for years upon years, and just everything about Lana Del Rey is, in my opinion, better than what Taylor Swift is putting out. So I don't know. I've gotten into an argument with a few Taylor Swift fans about this. So it's my hottest take of the week.
Fair enough. Eli, what's your sports shout out of the week then?
My sports shout out of the week? Gonna give it to Kellen Mond. You're gonna die soon. You're not gonna have a job. So, way to go, buddy. You screwed yourself over.
He can go play in the XFL or the USFL or
CFL.
something.
Goodbye, Kellen Mond.
Go.
No.
Go.
The AFL starting back up.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shit. What do I want to do?
You didn't know that? Arena football is back.
You know, this is going to kill me to say, and I'm fully saying it as I'm going to turn my mic off after, take off the headset, and step away for a minute. He won his boxing fight. I know I'm in the call with Austen right now, so this is going to be the worst thing to say ever, possibly. He won his boxing match. Way to go, Jake Paul. You beat Diaz, who didn't give a shit, to be honest with you. But you beat somebody worthwhile. I'll give Jake Paul the shout out.
Now that's diabolical.
that is one of the most diabolical things I think we could end it on.
I'm not going to get all riled up. I don't know what he's leaving. I don't know why he's making a big production about this. If you watch the fight, Nate Diaz didn't care at all the entire fight.
Nate Diaz
was clowning on
him.
Jake Paul the entire time. So I mean, I don't know what Eli's making a big production about. Jake Paul fights has-beens, and he'll never fight anyone worthwhile. Now he'll fight him 20 years after their prime, or 10 years after their prime. So I mean, good job, I guess. Only reason people are taking those fights because of money.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about this next week though, along with the KSI Tommy Fury card with Logan Paul on it and all that.
Yeah. We'll have a little fight section next week. So, from everyone here at the Ace in the Hole National Association Sports Podcast, wishing you the best for the next couple of weeks. We will be back. We will return, maybe with a new champion, but I doubt it. Because, this champ will forever reign as... Wow, okay. Let's just ruin everything right there, Eli. So if you ever need your running back to be set up, then don't worry. Jim Irsay has got you covered. However, if you need entertained for an hour and a half, we've got you covered here in the Ace in the Hole. And we'll catch you on later, down the road.
You butchered that ending, run it back.
God damn it.
No, I'll hit it for you. And if you ever find yourself in contract negotiations with Mr. Jim Irsay himself, just make sure you're a whale and he's transported to the ocean. And if you aren't a whale, we've got you covered because we're yours. Ace in the hole. Catch you down the road. Yeah.